So the Pacific trial is concerned in stage 3 non-small cell lung cancer. Typical treatment for those patients with unresectable disease is concomitant chemoradiation. With that treatment that had been the same for the last 2 decades, what you expect to get is a median progression-free survival of about 9 months and 15% of patients being alive at 15 years. Of course, we need to improve those results, and this is one of the reasons this trial with a novel immunotherapeutic agent has been put forward. So the design of the trial had taken patients that did not progress after the chemoradiation treatment with stage 3 disease, and then randomized them to receive durvalumab versus placebo on a 2-to-1 fashion. Primary endpoints being progression-free survival and overall survival. We present today the interim progression-free survival analysis and show that there was a significant, robust improvement in progression-free survival with a hazard ratio of 0.52 at a p-level of 0.001. That means an increase in progression-free survival in the median time from 5.6 months on the control arm till 16.8 on the durvalumab arm. Consistent with those data, there was an improvement in response rate from 16 to 28% and a decrease in the appearance of new metastatic lesions. The safety profile was as expected, as previously described in metastatic patients.
Were there any immune adverse related events?
There was, of course, some improvement, some increase in the number of immune adverse events. The rate of immune adverse events is in the range of 24%, but the number of severe adverse events are pretty low, something like 3.4%, which is quite manageable, I would say.
Is there any expectation of when the overall survival data might be mature?
So for that trial, for the final mature survival, you need 491 death events. It's difficult to say when this is going to happen, but at least 2 to 3 years ago.
Would you say this brings durvalumab a step closer to approval, perhaps?
I think, on my particular opinion, of course, is the agency to say it, but my particular opinion is very likely that an approval would be pursued for that specific indication of stage 3.
Or any comparison to other PD-1 antibodies?
So the data we have so far, comparing one antibody to another, are just by comparing across trials. There are no direct comparison one to each other. And so it's really difficult to say how compare one to each other. The only thing I can tell you, we are sure about the efficacy of some of the other agents for metastatic disease because the right trial had been performed. And in stage 3, this is the only anti-PD-L1 agent that had been actually tested properly, and is the only one with robust data.
And would you feel comfortable passing any comment on the results from the MYSTIC trial that came out a little while ago?
So, to be honest, the only information I got about the MYSTIC trial is the press release, and I don't think I have much data, nothing much to add.